In this video, I hope to show you quickly how to make a cheap and easy to set up awning. It's a 10 foot by 10 foot and it attaches to the roof of the car so it doesn't let water rain in between the awning and the open door. I made a matching pair so there's one that fits on each side of the van. At the end of the video, I'll have a set of screenshots that shows you the components that I used to build this. So there's a pair of tarps, a couple pairs of poles, some tent stakes, and some ropes to do each side. So the non-Velcro edge of the tarp, it was folded over and a rope was sewn on one edge that goes full length, and on the other side there's these clips. The clips clamp onto the tarp at the Velcro, and I can attach the poles to that. The tarp itself goes into these Kedar Rails. That's why the rope was sewn into one edge of the tarp, and that slides the full length of the van. So the rails are about 8 feet long and the tarp is 10 feet wide, so there's a couple of feet of tarp that can be split on either side or all on one side. So once the tarp is on, then it's time to set up the poles. These expanding poles are really nice to put on the van. They weren't cheap, so that's why I only have a pair of them. So at this rubber foot, you can put the pole like in the middle of the tarp, so you can tie down the corners and have the pole be in the middle of the tarp rather than at the edges. As it is, there's a bit of extra material at each end, or it can be shifted to one end, depending on where the sun is and where you want the shade. I use these 80-pound magnets to keep the tarp from shifting at either end. So these are my cheap homemade poles. They are a couple of aluminum ski poles and a short section of PVC pipe. I took the handles and the baskets off of the ski poles. I drilled out a 1/2-inch PVC end cap and threaded a piece of threaded rod through that, and so the threading is tight into that pipe. And then I have the nut on top so that I can tighten that to the clip on the awning. The awning comes with Velcro on all 3 edges, and it makes it easy to attach to the poles. So the components to build this: a pair of 4-foot Kedar rails on each side. I ordered 4-footers instead of 7.5-footers because the shipping was like a quarter of the cost. So the rails are really stiff plastic, and some people use like a hair dryer or a heat gun. I use my diesel heater to bend the rails to actually match the shape of the roof of the car, and I mount them just on the edge of the gutters. I use this double stick tape, 1 roll on each side of the car. I also use super glue to try to join the 4-foot sections. I was successful on one side and the other side I was not. So I ended up using some Sikaflex to seal it. So this railing is really sharp, and I discovered that when I was trying to put my window screen through this that it tore a small hole. So I resolved that problem by sanding it down and smoothing it. So these are the tarps that I bought. They come in different sizes, and here are the tent poles. They are expandable. I really like them. They're really lightweight. They come in a nice storage bag. These are the magnets that I use for just about everything. I've found they're so versatile. They also come with a little loop ring that adds onto that carabiner. And lastly, these are the clips that I used that attach to the edge of the awning. So that's the video on the awning. I hope you enjoyed it and got some good stuff out of it. And as always, thanks for watching.